Okay. I just want to start off by saying thank you, God. And I need to be thankful because I hear what life could have been in a different fashion. Not because of sufferance and living a rough life, but just the foulness. I'm hearing perps that children, they contract a lot of teenager, childlike individuals. You're going to hear a lot of testimonials and shocked by the amount of young individuals participate in this foulness. You're going to hear women say that. You're going to hear men say that. And you're going to be understood. You will understand that there's perps of all walks of life. A lot of childlike individuals. They use a lot of student, college students, and even teenagers. And this trash, as so disgusting with me at this point, is them trying to make me believe that this technology that is manipulating the brain and altering the brain is not happening. That I should listen to a fucking retarded human being try to convince me that they're not manipulating my brain, and then try to make me identify with it by telling me how I'm going to be tortured. These people have been humiliated by reality. My psyop is being a psyop of people who are supposed to make me believe that because the way they appear, I should not think I'm being manipulated, and this is not a program where this technology that's been altering the mind is happening and doing a lot more. I've gotten this book, right? And this is just old. This was written in the 60s. And this is the book this man, Jose Delgado, wrote in 1969. And the name of the book was Physical Control of the Mind. And basically describing the early stages of the ability of altering and modifying the brain. We're using very, very basic technology at this point, in comparison to what we have today. We're talking about in the 60s. A lot of it is even in the 50s. So you see things like that. You see what he was doing to monkeys and what he was able to do with the technology at the time, right? Able to put a monkey to sleep using this, the implants and things in his brain, right? And be able to remotely, after implanting these monkeys, able to control their reactions. And this is all the things he was able to do. And he literally was able to modify the behaviors, the reactions, and make them have emotions and stimulations and sensation and all of that using really basic stuff in the 60s. This is in the 50s, right? And so you clearly understand the reality of what's happening here. You clearly hear what this is about, and you clearly see that, of course, I know this is about controlling human mind, and they were able to control, do some surprising control at that time. Basic emotion, pleasure, stimulations, anger at that time, right? And so today I have this low life around you because, of course, today we're talking about another level of evolution in this technology. Target individual, we are test subjects. You see these monkeys. That's what this is what we are to this program. They're developing this weapon system, this technology, and utilizing this technology onto us. But on top of that, it's been obviously became not only more sophisticated in regard to the technology and the ability of this technology, but also the psychological aspect of how they want to attack you. You heard the noise campaign from sirens. You heard, this is a whole ecosystem the government has architected, have put together in order to not only make the person experience that, but to try to make the individual identify with this. With me, they use a lot of childlike individual. You have people like this, and it's so disgusting. That's supposed to, and then they come in all shape. This is apparently somebody they're going to frame me with. This retard is supposed to make me think that I'm not being manipulated, when I know that this technology at the time was able to make people experience that. This is the kind of people they use. You saw this, what they were able to do in this time. I'm supposed to now think that because these retards are in, and they act, they make you have this experience, and then they have this gaslighting ways of trying to make you accept it. So they act a certain way. It's like, oh, you're a pedophile. Because what they do is they force you to have this sexual emotions and stimulations and reactions toward children. So they do these things where they no longer need these things they implant in the brain. They don't need to implant devices anymore into the brain. This is just really how it started. Today, all these emotions, all these feelings, doing this. Even no longer need any kind of implantation. You don't need any of that. And I wish I could show the picture where you see the monkey, like, as they stimulate me, by the way, because they want to make me feel uncomfortable. They don't need to do that. And so a lot of these things that you see, these monkeys with these big things hanging out of their brains, that's in the 50s, right? But in fact, the same man here, in one of the interviews, said, if I only had electromagnetic radiation, I could have done the same thing I did to these monkeys without surgery. Just remotely do that, right? And it's clear. And it's validated. Now, can you imagine people that are like this and even more retarded? Try to convince you that there's no ability to manipulate you. Some clown. Now, at this point, what these people have put themselves into, they put in the circumstances where they are green-lighted to be harmed. Target video, I'm not here pushing any violence. But people involved in these things, involved in programs where they're using human subjects and developing this technology that put this degrading reaction and do things like that to human beings by using this technology much more sophisticated, and then try to gaslight you into accepting how you're being manipulated, that you're not being manipulated. When you're validated that this technology, this is what they were able to do in the 50s. They were doing these things in the 50s, making those monkeys have this reaction. And today, of course, they don't even need these things they put in the brain. They just use this electromagnetic radiation. And I'm supposed to figure this clown, this retard of a human being who just started life. So, for example, not too long ago, that's what this person influenced me to make this video. She started calling me a pedophile. That's what they do. They make you have this reaction, and then they call you a pedophile. When the truth is, this trash are forcing you to have this reaction and want you to accept this. And the awkward and the embarrassing part is that the entities who've been funding these studies, who are developing this technology, not this freaking retard that's supposed to create a psyop and make you believe this is anything but this massive government, are top-tier child porn traffickers. So you have this retard loving involvement of what this can do. And so they manipulate you in this degrading way. And they then try to find a way to deflect. They're like, nah, you're against child abuse. Try to find ways to make me accept of these things. Because they force him to have this sexual arousal. And then they try to deflect. This is what they did before. As you can see, they just tried to close my throat. As I was watching this short video, actually, I was going down, and then there's something where I couldn't see. They play with the brain processing. Obviously, what you can see here with this monkey was just the old stage, the early stage, what they were capable of doing at the time. As impressive as it is, you can only imagine this is the 50s. Today, the processing of your brain, how you perceive things are manipulated, it becomes way more granular. Right? And so, of course, it's the nature of evolution. If they were able to do that in the 50s, can you imagine what they can do in the 2000s, right? But they also have these people around you who were supposed to make you feel guilty for what they're doing to you. It's so nasty. And they're like, oh, we're doing that for our girls. When, you can see, it can make you have sexual stimulation. They were making these monkeys having sexual stimulation using this basic technology. Putting chalk in this team. So today, they do these nasty things. Then they pretend like they're protecting children when they use actual children, mentally developing retards. Try to gaslight you. And this trash, these people here, you should see how they act. Oh, radical! And it's you, it's screaming like with a passion. To try to make you accept it. Right now, they're stimulating me. I'm seeing the picture. Somebody in the back and just screaming, yes, you. Like a mad child. Just like, I want you to believe that we're not. It's so disgusting. So, I'm on YouTube. I'm just scrolling down, and there's something about mother and child, or some mother. But I'm like, my brain is just messing with me. I'm like, I know they're making me think that the way I was perceiving this person, it was hard to tell she was a child. I was like, no, I look at the video, she looks so obviously like a child. And they can play with my brain this way. And immediately this person like, oh, is she a pedophile? You're just a trash. You know, obviously what it does to a target individual, it just makes them aggressive. It makes them aggressive because what you know is like you're playing my brain to have this perception. And then and I'm aware that you are in this here, something that does these things here. In this new version, the evolution version of this. This is the evolution. What's happening to me is the evolution from that. And you know they're making you have these same reactions. So you know the person talking to you is manipulated or involved in the manipulation. This is just making somebody willing to become aggressive. And I don't want to be aggressive. You see how pathetic this shit is. This life is just starting. I don't have to wait. I don't need to do anything. If that's the high lifestyle for them in this way, you can only imagine how the future is looking like. What do you think this person is going to be at 30 years old? You know how much shit so much can happen to him even before that. Let me not stop that from happening. So I was going through and I see, and it's like, this is obvious. Is this? And now they try to make me, they have these ways of manipulating. It was this girl here. Some African teenager. They just try to mess with my brain. He said, oh, yeah, pedophile. And you hear this trash shot to call you a pedophile. It's like embarrassing trash. You know, I know. You know this evolution? The reason why this low life, this trash with their teenage this year, you know why it's happening? You know why it happened? You know who made that happen? You know the evolution of that? Do I think it's some retard like this doing this? Do I think this is who's behind this? No. It's clearly not it's this governmental entity filled with pedophiles. Contracting this trash who live life, trying to disorient the target individual into accepting their manipulations. You know, I heard this trash like, it's a behavior, because what they do is they alter the behavior. Of course, they modify your brain. They control your behavior. So you have this low life that can even control their own behavior. Try to tell me it's theirs. And the psyop, that's such a failure of a psyop. I was supposed to think it's some feminist group of avenging protectors of our children. When the truth is, they're just bottom-faced opportunists involving themselves. There was next door neighbor, this trash human low life. She's way older than these retards. 60s years, in her 60s, early 60s. She was probably barely alive when this was happening. This. Tried to gaslight me. I was like, trash, I don't feel embarrassed. This is around the time you were born. All the things you've seen in your life. All the changes you saw, the abilities of what they can do in all the technology you've seen through your life. Your 60 is not even that old. All of that. You tell me that your dumbass is going to make me believe it? You came at a time when the computers were like rare. Very rare. And you see now everybody has a computer on their phone. Has a computer like the smallest computers. So your trashy ass think that I'm going to let you, who can, if more than anybody, especially somebody who's that, who's older like in that sense, can make me think that this is what they were doing when you were a kid, a young kid. And today you're trashy. I'm in my 30s. I've seen technology evolution. In my 30s, she's maybe double that. I can only imagine all the evolution of just technology. And then you send this retard to make me think that I'm not. I know what you guys do. They were able to do that to monkeys in the 50s using this. So for me, target individual, stay strong. I mean, they do deserve to die. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not trying to push people to kill, but these perps have deserved to die. Maybe it's not for me or anybody else to do that to them, but they do deserve it. And it doesn't mean that because I don't want to do it, or I'm not the one who's supposed to do that to them, doesn't mean they're not supposed to. It will come the way it is. This retards send this child like trash, like now we exposed the deal. Just retards. These people who just like this like trash who just like these retards. Well, this is what they do. They were exposing this monkey, by the way. And some of them are childlike. They don't understand. You understand the child brain is not fully developed. Some of them are really not developed. But at this point, they better understand because we're talking about death. It's like seeing a child soldier who's involved himself in atrocities, killing. Horror. This horror is forever connected to this person. So if somebody sees this child soldier and want to kill them, and they use this retard here to say, no, this is horror because they're going to put me through situations. This trash. Like, I would think that these people can make anybody go through horror. Not trash. It's the horror that has been using children as monkeys. You fucking low life. This is why I hate them. I don't hate them for what they do to me. I hate them for what they try to negate. Because they're involved in the horror that tortured children. It's their horror. That's the horror these daring cowards are involved in. It's the horror that is killing slowly children. That's the horror. And I will never let them live the fantasy. That's the horror that they deserve to die. When I see them, I know this horror is not just for me. I swear to God, target individual, stay strong. But see this trash what they are. They will not disassociate themselves from what they're involved in. What it's doing to not only me, but men and women and children and clowns. They can use children like this retards, to try to recreate reality. A fucking retarded human being like that can make you believe. Don't get lost. This gaslighting. These next door neighbors or whoever they're involved, they're nothing. They're nothing. But I will not let this nothing think that this nothings are the one doing that to me. This nothing are involved in the program to torture infants. Target individual, stay strong.